affected area.
There's something on here about
Already tells us what to do.
this one, new business A.
Call meeting to order. Eric, can you do a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. District 1, Councilman Rios.
Here.
District 2, Councilman Mike Pastor.
Here.
District 3, Councilman Jesse Latham.
Here.
District 4, Vice Mayor Stapleton.
Here.
District 5, Councilman Mariano Gonzalez.
Here.
And District 6, Fernando Shipley, Councilman. Mr. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Chief, can you lead us in the invocation, please?
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful unto Thee for the blessings that we have. We're grateful for our community, for those who serve within it. We're grateful for the opportunities we're given to be of service to those around us. And we would ask Thy blessings on those in our community who may be in need, may be suffering or grieving at this time. Please bless these proceedings, that they may be carried forward in a manner pleasing unto Thee. And these things we pray for in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Fernando, can you send it?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
start with summary of current events. Mike, we'll start with you down there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say that the conference that we went to, Arizona Towns and Cities, I attended one session that was really good. It talked about strategic planning and how it works for your community and everything. And believe it or not, everything they talked about, we're already doing and continuing to do. So it was kind of nice to see it was reinforced. So that's about all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Jesse?
I just want to reiterate what Councilman Pastor said. The sessions that I went to, it was as if they were taking a page out of our book and just talking about what they were doing. So it was pleasant to see that. That's all I have, Mayor.
Sure, Mayor, thank you. I just have a few things. First of all, I want to remind everybody about the 2025 cemetery tour. That's coming up on September 6th, starting at 6 o'clock, departing from the train depot. And it's going to be roughly a 2-hour tour. The last tour is leaving at 8 o'clock. And tickets are $25 per person, adult. I think I saw 8 and under are free with a paying person. And this benefits the Globe Downtown Association as well as the Copper Cities Community Players. If you have any questions, you can call Molly at 480-345-7477. And second is a reminder of First Friday is coming up a week from this Friday. I don't have all the activities written down, but it's always a good time. And the weather's cooling down as we see the Farron's wearing pants now, so we're good. And then thirdly, I want to reiterate what Mike and Jesse said. We went to the League of Cities last week, Tuesday through Friday. I was in Scottsdale this year, and it was the first time in a long time that all the council was present this time, and that would be because I could never go in the past. So I had a really good time, enjoyed myself, and learned a lot. I talked to several council people and mayors and so on and so forth, and they said that this was one of the largest leagues that they've had in a long time. 91 cities were there, and that equated to about 1,600 people. So it was really large. So I just wanted to give a shout out thank you to everybody that made this possible. And I'm looking forward to going again next year. So thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mike. Mariano?
Mr. Mayor, I too have been on the road. I've been to the Rural Policy Forum as well as the League of Cities and Towns. And the one takeaway I have from both of those events is that all across Arizona, from Bisbee to Page, people are finding the ways to refurbish, remodel the buildings that were constructed in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. They are finding and getting the funding, grants and otherwise donations, turning these buildings into refurbished homes, museums, theaters, centers for the arts. So we're not alone in the accomplishments that we have seen this last year alone, and in the arts especially. It's a movement that's going on right now, and they all have done what we've done. They have found the funding through various stakeholders, 501c3 organizations, and they've turned around in the space of 3 years, 4 years, and even added on to what they're doing. So we are not alone. It's a movement that's very strong right now in the rural communities of Arizona. We always throw out Maricopa and Tucson and then look at the rest of the state to see what's really being done. They're finding the funding, they're rolling up their sleeves, they're getting to work and accomplishing good things in their towns, just like we are. So we're not alone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Fernando?
Just a couple things. Cobra Valley Regional Medical Center is having their grand opening for the Kearney Clinic. It costs around $8 million, but we really revamped that. It's super nice. It's a brand new facility, and they're going to have the grand opening September 3rd at 9 a.m. So they're trying to get as many people there as they can to get a good photo op. Also, thank you, Mayor, for being at the ribbon cutting last week for the community college. It's an exciting thing to be able to run our own community college and and to change, or choose our own direction going forward, so, and that's it.
Thank you. Ready? Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to reiterate what most of my colleagues have said. The Leagues and Cities was a great opportunity for us to mingle and learn from other leaders from other communities. But I do want to express this, that you can be proud of your mayor and council because your city was well represented at the Leagues and Cities. So a little bit of kudos to your city leaders. The other thing is just a quick note for those of you that are not aware, the road closure between Miami Superior has been canceled for this week, so there are no restrictions up through Labor Day. Only the pilot car restriction would be, maybe a 5 or 10 minute wait, but the road closure has been canceled typically from 9 a.m. to 2, so you're free to go to the valley. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Freddie. I just want to comment, the League of Cities was a great opportunity to talk to other council members, elected officials across the state. We attended the healthcare one, and that's concerning for our community. And they talked about I think it's $80 billion our state will lose in funds because of the Medicaid program, the signing of the bill. And so we were concerned about our rural hospital and really the services we do, because we're a high percentage of Medicaid residents in our area. So just keep an ear on it. I know it's not gonna take effect till 26, 27, but there's already hospitals, even the big hospitals are making cuts and making adjustments for the future and what it's gonna hold, because it's really unknown. Really don't know what's gonna happen. On Friday, besides First Friday, there's a blood drive at the Elks. So if you're out and able to give blood, please go. They do have a shortage. I know they operate by appointments, but you can still go in and they'll take you in to be able to go in and get your blood drawn. On Saturday, there's a luau pool party at the community center. I don't have a flyer with me, but I saw it, and I think they're having different things out there on Saturday at the community center. The Coffee with the Mayor will resume again this month. That'll be on the 17th at Copper Cities Coffee at 1 o'clock. And just want to remind everybody, if you're interested, the Citizens Academy starts on September 17th. Please, I would encourage anybody to come to this academy, learn more about your city, learn more about the operations, learn more about your different departments and how things operate within the city. That way you get direct, true information from these presentations. And that is a 8-week, I think it's every Wednesday, it's from 6 to 9. I think they extended it 3 hours
I
instead.
thought only for PD they extended it to 9, then,
Oh, okay.
6 to 8,
They get a little extra, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
Bigger portions in the meal.
All right, so it's 2 hours every Wednesday, 6 to 8, unless you go to PD and, because they're trying to win the food contest again, so. But anyway, it's very interesting and very, great to attend. That luau it is Saturday. It's from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And, yeah, they got fun, they got music, games, raffles, and other stuff. Come dressed for the event. And that's all I have, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, 2 things. We're fully open for any employee or insurable spouse to participate in our preventative screening program. It's up and running both on the MRIs that we can get and the ultrasounds and possible CT scans. And so that's now available, and all the bugs are worked out of it. And Pam Leonard is our contact. So any city employee or any dependent that's benefit eligible is allowed to participate in that. And we're very happy. I bring that up because I think the 2 things in my discussions with my peers over the past 6 months and this week was both that it's doable for a small city, can it's affordable enough that we can do that for our employees because they're our biggest investment. And the Citizens Academy, a lot of people think, they talk about the communication and the mindset of everybody. It's like, we have the Citizens Academy, and people come and learn and figure out how complex and diverse the jobs, the tasks, the responsibilities are. And so both are things that we are already doing. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Paul. We go to our first community call to the public, and this is the time any citizen wishing to make any comments can do so. Anything that's not on the agenda, it's limited to 3 minutes, and council is not, cannot respond to any comments that are made from the public. So, do you have anybody?
Let me check on email, we have no one, but we did have a quick text here that I'll read. It was somebody asking, just wanted to ask for any updates on when the downtown area of Globe will be getting more updates into our historic buildings, and if there are any plans towards fixing street roads within our community sidewalks. So, and we can't respond to this, but let's talk about this one at future agenda items, and maybe we can wrap this into a presentation that maybe council would like to see.
That would be great.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go to special presentations. And first one, A, is presentation of the Arizona Office of Tourism Award-winning Starizona Trail by Love Where You Live initiative. And we have Thea and we have Regina here, if you guys can come up, and we're excited about this.
Everything's been everywhere, I swear.
Thank you. We are thrilled to be here and to say that our community has been recognized across the state for this. So there have been so many people involved that Regina is going to be creating a video where the award just gets passed and passed and passed to all the different participants, and we're hoping we can do a very fun, quick video clip with you guys tonight so that you'll start off with that. But we want to thank you for your support. You have supported iArt Globe from the very beginning, and then as we morphed into Love Where You Live, you have continued to support us. You have supported public amenities like putting money towards a dog park that the community can then raise more money and bring art and other things to. You have allowed Public Works to take a bridge and help us to convert it into a pet memorial. We are so grateful to you for your support. And really, just even a bigger shout out to Public Works. John and Uriel and the entire team have been, I'm surprised they don't just turn and groan when they see us.
They still take our calls.
They do, they still take our calls and let us in the office. We have brought breakfast burritos a couple of times, but.
That helps.
Yeah, they have been amazing and really have a heart for our community. It's so obvious as we talk through ideas and bring ideas that they're already working on. Like Vince and the team had already been planning a staircase that we came and said, we need a staircase here. And they're like, and then like 2 weeks later, it's there. I mean, it's just really impressive. Al, I want to do a special shout out to you. You were not just supportive in the overall, but you were the one that did the Dominion Hotel recreation. You also were very much the lead on our Instagram murals and getting the Arizona Creative Communities funding for the bridge. And it's amazing to see all the pieces that come together. I also want to do a shout out to Fernando. He did the bench out in front of the Center for the Arts, but what you may not know is that he's been one of our strongest trail cleaners and staircase preparers before we bring art to it. And I don't even know how many hours you've put into that, but thank you. Paul, thank you. Thank you that you, behind the scenes, and Linda and the economic development team have really stepped up. We appreciate all that you've facilitated. I think we are a pretty good team as far as knowing how to talk to each other and knowing all the hoops that we need to jump through. So thank you for your support in that.
And we were bragging about you down with our colleagues. So.
Yes, excellent, good. I hope you carried this around. Did you carry it in the parade? No, it was at your booth, right?
And they were handouts, it was great.
Good. I loved that conference. It was so helpful.
And then I guess to lean in, and real quick, this award, when it was given, it was something that we got nominated for, and Fernando nominated us for this.
Thank
So
you.
just want to also thank you for that, making that possible. Of course, we have funders and stakeholders who help, so we want to shout out to BHP Freeport, APS, who helped produce the tearaway maps that we have throughout the community. We have some in the back area, so please take one and share. Also some private funding from the Booth Beasley Foundation. Arizona Health Zone helped create some of the signage that you see along the trail. And the Arizona Community Foundation, as well as just private individuals and businesses that have sponsored fundraisers or even supported our organization that works with Doctoberfest, and even, just all everyone who pitched in, for sure.
We also want to just give you a quick update that the Stairs on a Trail now has 105 art installations along it. When
So
we
that's
did the map,
39 on the map.
yeah, the map had 39 at the time, so we've continued. But we've put in over 130 art installations in the region over the last 4 years. And so with that, I want to say we have local artists who have done most of the work. People who had never been paid before and now work as professional artists because of being launched with what they've done here in our community. And Mariano, I was hoping to be at Rural Policy, but I heard that the keynote speaker highlighted one of the murals coming through Miami that was ours. It was our work. So we just are so pleased to be able to represent our community well.
Yeah, I've been able to work as a creative services director, and I work with the artists directly. And there is so much talent in and amongst us in Glow, Miami, San Carlos, and it comes in all forms, music, and just your fine arts and skills. And we have our youngest artist at the time when she created a mural was 13 years old. Wow. Our oldest artist was 77 years old, and you can imagine just all the different ages and backgrounds in between that have helped contribute to our wonderful Stairs on a Trail, and of which you all are a part of, and everybody here, everybody in our community really earned this award. So that's what we're here for today, is to obviously celebrate our efforts, but really it's an earned effort from our entire community.
Yeah. And a shout out to the Cobra Valley Center for the Arts that took us on when we weren't a nonprofit, and they allowed us to be one of their projects for iArt Globe. And I think we overwhelmed them at times, and they were still gracious to us. But they encouraged us to become our own nonprofit, and we moved forward with that. So if you're up for it, would you be willing to come down and pass the trophy so we can do a fun video?
It's photo op, but we'll do like a video op too.
Before we do that, do we have any comments or from the council?
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm eating humble pie. I had my doubts. The mural, the first mural, and then you went from there, and I thought, is this gonna fly? Now, I'm a musician, I'm all for the arts, but I thought, what are we doing here? And it grew, and it snowballed, and you are recognized statewide for all of the things in providing amenities to the arts, and you've done a fantastic job. I had a couple stop me across the street from La Casita, and they just had dinner there. They were from out of town, 2 kids with them. They said, "Can you tell us where the Pasco Stairs are?" I'm sure, they're right. You know, they're coming from out of town and wanting to do the Pasco Stairs system, and look at the art and all the other amenities that you have beautified the city with. So tonight I ate humble pie. Thank you for all your efforts. I mean it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And
Fernando, go ahead.
may I respond to that, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor? We have been surprised as well. Arizona Highways, Arizona Republic, Desert Leaf. Telemundo. I got contacted about a Telemundo episode that I hadn't even known was done on the Stairs on a Trail, and it went beyond our state.
Yes.
So it is just amazing.
Yes.
Humbling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Very good.
And also we're just getting started, I feel, just so that you all know. We still have a lot of plans. We regularly meet every Monday for our huddle, and it just seems like our ideas and our to-do list is just expanding, and you all have given us that hope to continue. It's the support from you all and from volunteers and our local artists that they want to participate. They'll call us and say, "Hey, what are you working on?" or "How can I help?" And that is different from how it started. It was uphill at first, for sure.
Let me put a bug in your ear. Today we were with the Board of Supervisors and they presented what their plan is for the Michelson building, the interiors, and they have an architect of record doing the work. So my hint to you is get with Linda, see what you can do to beautify the sides of the building. That's
We've already proposed that,
Excellent.
and we're ready when you're ready.
you're on it. Okay, good, very good, thank you.
I had no doubt. Once you two put your mind to something, there's no stopping them. So you either help or get the heck out of the way. so I've just decided to help whenever I can. So I just appreciate all the effort that you put into everything. I've dreamed about having those stairs beautified or tiled or something for, 20 years, and then you guys did it. So thank you. And I think the passion that you put into the community definitely brings the spirit of the community up. I think art really has a way of making people feel part of the community and help them feel better about their community and positive. Because so many times you'll see something just decay and then it's like a cancer and it just spreads. But so does beautification. It spreads as well. And so thank you.
Very good.
Freddie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, it's just amazing for me to see. I remember the days, Thea, when you came and you presented the IR Globe, the idea, and you presented a punch list. Like, this is what we want to do, this, and this. And from that moment till now, it's grown to an art community well outside the bounds of the city of Globe and the state of Arizona. So just congratulations on an excellent job that you have done and the vision that you and your group and your team have put together and continue to grow. So congratulations. Well deserved.
I just want to personally congratulate and thank you guys too. I live on Cottonwood, and I constantly see people coming down from, I'm assuming High Street, is it?
Yep.
From that set of stairs, and then going back down past my house. I'm constantly waving to them, hey, enjoy your climb and everything. So I basically just want to thank you and really appreciate everything that you guys have done. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Just want to say congratulations, ladies. I was there at the governor's conference when you were awarded that. It was a sight to see. It was amazing. So keep up the great work, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Thea lives right across the street from me, and she's always on the go. And every time she goes, I always wonder, okay, what is she up to now? And, I remember when you guys first came to us and you wanted to do the alley across the street. And how disappointed you were when we wouldn't allow it because there was so much to do. But look where you guys have gone with your ideas, and it's truly amazing, and you guys should be very proud of yourselves.
We helped Miami get $10,000 to do one of their alleys.
Awesome.
So,
Good.
There you go.
too good an idea to let it go.
I want to thank you also and commend you for all the work you've done. You always got to have that driving force in order to get things done, and you were part of it. Yeah, we all take credit for the community, but you guys have done a lot of work. Just getting the projects going, the contracts, going out and getting grant money and funding to continue your work. It all falls into part of what our council plan is, that, we want to build Globe. We want to build a community, and that is by attracting tourism, and our economic development is vital. So all this plays into it. There's all parts to what we're doing, and just want to thank you for everything you guys have done.
Yeah.
And for challenging me to do the largest mural that I've ever done. So,
You knocked it out of the park. You guys keep watching. We've got more in the works. I don't know if you've noticed the pillars on Maple. We now have 20 Gila monsters hidden downtown. We've got several in kind of some sneaky locations. So we also have something that if you can tell your constituents, tell your families, if families or kids can show that they found at least 12 with selfies, we have a free activity book that we developed with community youth. So it's really fun.
nice. Freddie.
If I may, I I know a business owner that is asking about the Gila Monster, and this owner is wanting to get one. So do I send them to your direction?
Yes, if it's stucco, we can't pull it off.
Or? Okay,
We've had a number of businesses want it, and we just can't make it happen
as
on
long as
stucco.
it's not stucco.
Yeah,
And so go to you or your organization?
yep.
Okay, very good.
Okay, let's do a photo.
Please come
Yeah,
and
we
let
would
us
love
do
to.
a fun video if you're all right.
Okay.
Thank you guys, thank you for coming down.
And then, I mean, when it's video, it's like, maybe you go woohoo or whatever. So, yeah, it's a little bit.
So this is live?
Yes, this is the video.
Yeah, okay.
We're just supposed to act goofy.
Yes, that's exactly what I found.
That's right, we bet.
Hey, you do my street gang sign? No, chief is here, I better.
Thank you all so much. Oh my gosh, I appreciate you. I'll text you.
Thank you so much.
Somebody's gonna take you.
Thank you again very much. So it looks like we're gonna be tabling item B and C both
Mayor.
till the next meeting.
Right, we'll move them forward to
B and C.
Table. So we'll go to item D, and staff will present Globe City Council with an update on grant GS 2461050055, Community Development Block Grant Skate Park Project, and we have Travis.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the council. We had a bid that was actually due July 28th for the skate park. And when we got the two bids, one of them was not a non-responsive.
And Mr. Mayor, members of council, Travis, can you start from the beginning? This is Community Development Block Grant?
Yes,
Just
okay.
some context for the people watching at
Sure.
home.
So, every 3 years, the City of Globe, shares the community block grant that we get funded through, Central Arizona Governments. And it's well, I can't really say the amount because of the bidding situation right now. But we get a 3-year amount that we group with, 2 other entities. And so every 3 years, we go out for a larger project with those funds. And so, last year, you guys had decided to go for the project of a skate park rehabilitation to get updated equipment. And we also threw in there a sidewalk path from the adult exercise equipment down to the skate park with 3 picnic table pads to in between. So that was the project that that the council had approved. That was the project that was presented and went out to bid. Bids were originally due July 28th. We did receive 2. One was a non-responsive bid because they submitted the wrong Schedule B form. They accidentally used the old one. We had an updated one and an addendum. They didn't supply that one, so it became a non-responsive bid. And the second bid was exceeding over the funding amount that we had available for the project. So the decision was that we will go out to a rebid. Now, that notice is scheduled to be released September 3rd next week with the Miami, or the Globe Miami Times. We would have had it done a little bit sooner than that, but we discovered the Silver Belt had closed up, and that was the paper that we did use. And since we are required to use an actual printed paper for when we do notices for projects such as this, the next paper was the Globe Miami Times. So September 3rd is the notice that will be released for the rebid, and it will close September 29th. So from there, we're hoping to get some additional bids so that we can make a decision. As part of the scope, the priority is for the skate park equipment installation, but as I said, we are asking for a sidewalk pathway and the pads as well. Those pads are gonna be ADA accessible for the picnic tables too. With this rebid, we wanted to make sure we were a little bit more clear on what we're asking for. And so for the materials of the actual skate park, we're looking for anything that's steel, concrete, or durable wood that will have a protective coating if it's wood. Public Works does prefer steel, as it is stronger frame. The equipment that we have now is steel, it has lasted, but it's the padding that's wearing off. So that is the reason why we're changing out the equipment and need new equipment. Another thing that we are making it mandatory within the rebid is that it must meet the ASTM standards for above ground public use skate park facilities, and we're asking them to submit specification sheets of those equipment so we can look at it and any kind of warranty information that's attached to it. Before, we did not ask for that, and so since we saw this as a rebid opportunity, we are adding that to the equation for a must to be submitted, so we can understand some of the equipment, depending on the type of material, how long it's going to last. So that is our update. We're just waiting for it to be put in the paper and hopefully get some more bids than we did initially on September 29th.
Travis, I got a question on I know you said Public Works prefers steel. Is concrete a more durable product that's gonna last longer?
I can't say. I don't have anything to compare it to, but concrete would probably be more expensive, so I'm not sure how much we could get out of that, but that's why we're looking at the bids to see what comes in, and if there is a concrete proposal, we'll see what they provide for us.
And I understand Miami went with wood.
Miami did go with wood, that's what I understand as well. I believe there was a warranty on it, so it was all replaced, from my understanding.
Yeah.
But they did use wood.
Yeah, I understand there were some issues where they had to have it replaced or something. Okay. Any other questions or comments for Travis on that?
No.
And Mr. Mayor, members of council, so Travis, once the bid is in place and paperwork's done, accepted, everything like that, any hint, I hate to ask this, of a timeline once the construction starts, how long the actual work would take?
It would depend on the one who's making the bid. So the bidder, I would imagine we can get into a contract within weeks after the bid at earliest. So if we're able to do that, we'll bring it sometime in October for the contract. And then from there, it's going to be dependent on their schedule, but we're hoping to break ground before the end of this calendar year.
Travis, the sidewalk, is that just gonna be confined to the area around the skate pad? The sidewalk that you guys have proposed?
Yeah, so it's going to be between the tennis court and the basketball court. It's going to go from the adult exercise equipment down to the skate pad, or the skate park pad.
Is any of our Jess Hayes project extending up to the skate park at all, or just concentrated?
Yeah, so the Jesse Hayes project, yes, there is a sidewalk that's included in that design that will come up to the skate park, I believe.
Okay.
That was part of the design.
Thank you.
We need a motion or?
No, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Yeah, this is a presentation. We had some questions, and it was on future agenda item requests, and so we just wanted to bring that. It was good. It allowed us to regroup a little bit and explain to you where we're at. But we're excited. It's,
I have a question.
Paperwork, right?
Go ahead, Mike.
Is it possible that we could possibly think about incorporating a shade structure over the exercise yard where the new exercise yard is? Cause that stuff gets pretty hot when the sun hits it, it's all metal.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, to Councilman Pastor, your question, I think we were looking at a 20 by 30 shade structure over the area by the pool, and I think that priced out about 36,000. And so that's something that's kind of in my list of shade structures. That's the next one up.
Okay, well,
But,
just seeing if we're thinking about it, because
Yeah,
that stuff gets
I
pretty hot.
gotta think that's about the same size.
Well, the shade structure is about 36,000 uninstalled, so it's just for the actual material, so.
Well, you're handy.
All duty says a sign.
But if there is additional funding in the way I understand the way the CDBG program works, if there is additional funding, we can then suggest other things to add on to the CDBG project.
Yeah,
But
I think it'd be a plus out there.
Yeah.
Really.
No, it definitely would be nice. It's getting out of that direct sunlight is helpful.
Yep.
So no action, this is informational only.
Okay.
It'll-
Thank you, Travis.
Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
Next, we go to consent calendar. And matters listed in the consent calendar considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion and one vote. Public hearing items are designated with an asterisk. Prior to consideration of the consent agenda, the mayor will ask whether any member of the public wishes to remove a public hearing item for separate consideration. Members of the council and or staff may also remove any item for separate consideration. Item A is consideration of waiver of section 2-4-10A prior discussion rule to allow action on the balance of the consent agenda. 1. Accounts payable, $292,451.05. B. Consideration to approve letter of agreement number MOU 2026-0033 with Maricopa County Community College for EMT paramedic training. C. Approval of emergency land facility use agreement with the Arizona Department of Forestry and the Fire Management for use of helipads and hell wells installed at the Hagen facility. D. Consideration to approve fiscal year 26 signature page for the intergovernmental agreement IGA 2024-0035 with the Globe Unified School District for school resource officers. And E. Consideration to accept grant number GS 2657-05064 for $10,282 and grant number GS 2657-05065 for $10,275 from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety for DUI and impaired driving enforcement and step enforcement overtime. These funds will be received through GL number 2042-09012. Anybody from the public, staff, or council wishing to remove any of these items separately?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the consent agenda as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as read. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passed. New business. Item A is consideration of a request for new exterior building color signage, awning, and planters for the High Desert Humane Society building located at 393 North Broad Street in the Historic Preservation Overlay Zoning District. And we have Dana online.
Dana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor, council members. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having this item on your agenda. If you may not recall, that about 2 years ago, just short of 2 years ago, High Desert Humane Society came in and received approval for an elevation change, including signage and an awning being added. Obviously, things have changed a little bit over the time, and they've come back to amend that original approval or just replace with this proposal that you see before you. They are looking at this riding boots color for the body of the building, and then black trim around the windows and door. A new sign that measures about 24 square feet for this sign, and then they also have some window signage that's included in the request for signage. They're looking at placing 2 planters as well on either side of the front door. As you can see, that is part of this request.
then subject to, ultimately, Public Works, that would be located in the right of way, so Public Works review and approval as well.
And Dana,
And then they're also proposing to locate the awning over the front main entrance of the building. And this is the, exhibit provided by the applicant. Total sign area is within the allowed sign area of about 32.5 square feet. We have an additional color sample there.
And Dana,
black tie, yeah.
you're not sharing your screen right now, we're just looking at you. So the council's been looking at their handouts, so they're following along, but maybe you could just kind of run through those slides for everyone.
I didn't get the handout. Do you mind if I share?
City manager. And here we are. And my apologies. But that's the body color, riding boots, Benjamin Moore color. It's not included in our suggested palette, though a lot of colors are. And looking around, and I think you see in my report, I referenced there's brown brick across the street in other areas. Flanking this building are two kind of more mid-century buildings of white, for the most part white or metal color. And then just down on the to the south of this location, there is another a brown building or brown shaded building, which I can pull up and we can look at that streetscape if you'd like. There you see the black tie window, paint trim color, front door, awning proposed over the main entrance. The two signs, again, are within a 32 square foot, 32.5 square foot allowed sign area for the property. And those are the planners mentioned that ultimately require Public Works approval to allow to exist in the right of way and on the sidewalk there. So, get a swatch of that paint color. And then there's the example of the awning projecting about 30 inches out, and it needs to be a minimum of 8 feet, closer than 8 feet to the sidewalk once it's hung. And that is stipulated as part of the conditions of approval. And staff is recommending approval with some customary stipulations. Receive that right-of-way encroachment permit for the construction that occurs in the right-of-way during the installation of those components, paint, so forth. Apply for and receive all necessary building permits, obviously. Any cracks at building, blemishes to be repaired prior to paint. The portion of the awning could be less than 8 feet from the nearest sidewalk. This Historic Preservation District design approval would be valid for a period of 2 years, at which time the work needs to have commenced and been permitted to occur. Otherwise, it would expire after a 2-year period. And this approval does supersede the prior design approval granted back in May 9th of 2023. So with that, I'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Any questions for Dana?
Looks good.
That's all good.
Dana, we're saying on the item 5 is that they have 2 years to complete this project. That's what you're saying on that, right?
Correct.
Or show progress, yeah, have an active building permit.
Okay. I just want to commend you and staff for working diligently to get you to, your audio to work much better. It sounds much better, Dana.
Dana, you're sounding great.
Yeah, sounds real good.
Danny,
I
help
needed
with
that
that.
after the last meeting. I appreciate that.
So if there are no other questions or comments, I move to approve with the stipulations that were read.
Second?
We have motion and a second for approval of the item 5A. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passed. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
So item B is consideration to award contract number PS 2026-0029 to Alliance Service and Control Specialists Incorporated to provide professional services for ongoing maintenance, support, and technical services for the City of Globe's electrical, SCADA, and control systems at the water treatment plant for an amount not to exceed $150,000 through June 30th, 2026. Funds are to come from account 5080-51251, well pump maintenance and repair. And request to waive section 2-4-10A prior discussion drill. Travis.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. The past several months, you may have noticed in the agenda that we've had a lot of ratifications, contracts coming through Alliance. And what we were discovering is they were operating under an old contract. And so in order to make a contract without having to go every couple of weeks with a new contract, we figured that we can do an annual contract with them like we did in the past. And the reason we do that is because what they work on, the SCADA system at the water plant, it is proprietary. So it is a sole source procurement method that we're going with this. And this should help us not have to keep generating a contract, seeking signatures every few weeks for other contracts to happen. So we looked at the past 3 years and what we have spent, took an average and padded a little bit just in case, there's that big ticket item that we're not aware. But it is an average of what we spend with Alliance throughout a given year. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments?
So, oh, go ahead.
Ready, go ahead.
Travis, just curious on what kinds of processes or work they do on the SCADA system. Is it programming? Is it, additional adding software, updating software? If you could just kind of explain what the scope of their work is.
Sure, I'm actually going to defer that to Vince because he is more knowledgeable on that than I am.
Just have to be
I just
out in the audience.
Okay.
All right, thank-
Fair enough.
all right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, Councilman Rios, like you said, they do it all. They do a lot of the programming, the updates. Travis Rasuga, he's like this programming guru guy. He comes out. They also have an electrical team, so they do replacements of our fans and our VFDs, replacement of our VFDs. When we added the new booster station at Bonita, they redid the whole all the icons and programmed the screen so we can control those. We just got that new well 4 up and running. Currently we have to run it in hand. They're getting ready to create a scope for us to get that functioning through SCADA. So they do it all. They have their programming, their electrical, and their maintenance team.
Okay, so it's not just SCADA, it's
Yeah,
broader than SCADA.
It's a maintenance contract too. So.
Okay, just curious on what they do. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments?
Mayor, if there are no further comments, I would make a motion that we approve, where did I put it? Item 5B is presented.
Waive the,
Waive the rules.
Prior discussion.
I'll second
Mr. Mayor,
that.
members of council, I just wanted to compliment Travis. He worked very hard with our city attorney, Bill Sims, to get the paperwork right. This is partially a sole source type situation, and they worked out all the details in this contract, so it took a little bit, a couple phone calls.
Second that motion, Mayor.
Okay. Got a motion and a second and a waiver of the rules. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passed. Thank you, Travis. Go to action items. Item A is consideration to award contract number PS 2025-0164 to Xylem Water Solutions USA Incorporated to provide professional service for HMI programming and testing for the existing Sanitaire oxidation ditch control panel at the wastewater treatment plant for the amount of $23,567 with funds to come from account 518051234 contractual service. Travis.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. This was actually brought to you either last council meeting or the one before, but as we were about to execute it, Xylem had some language changes that they wanted to see, so we just worked it with our attorney and they accepted, and so we're just bringing it back because there were changes in the language.
Questions or comments?
Mayor, I'd move to approve item 6B as presented.
6A.
6A. Second.
A motion approval for item 6A. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passed. Item B, consideration to award contract number CS 2026-0035 to Apache Underground and Excavating LLC to resolve and separate a common sewer line for the amount of $204,390.32, funded through account 54805210002021 WIFA grant in the amount of $139,510.83, and approved to transfer from wastewater enterprise funds contingency undesignated for $64,879.49 from account 5180530000 to account number 51805223 sewer common line replacement. Travis.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. Another common sewer line project for you. As it indicated in the agenda title, there's about $139,000 left of our WIFA 2021 loan. And so we're able to exhaust that now with this project. But the project obviously costs a little bit more than what was left. So we're asking for a transfer from our contingency funds to our sewer line, common line account number. But this will take care of 4 houses that are connected together on one common line. 3 are along Alpine Road. And then at the intersection of Alpine and Central, there's the house that's with the central address that's also on that same common line. So this will alleviate that, and they'll have their own individual common lines once the project's done.
Fernando, go ahead.
So this is the contingency within the enterprise fund?
It's a combination of it's enterprise money, primarily WIFA that we needed to spend, and then the WIFA capital. Not WIFA capital, but sewer capital funds.
Okay, but it's all coming out of the enterprise fund?
Yes, yeah, no general funds on this at all.
Okay.
And this is just keeping with our common line pledge. We like I say, we used to pledge a certain amount, now we're just going project to project because it benefits us, and we're reaching that goal where we have every last common line problem resolved.
We keep finding more though, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
They just pop up every once in a while. It's like,
Okay. Yeah, because we knew of some, we thought we fixed them, and then it seems like we find more and more.
and one of the things we do need to do, we are looking at doing a sewer master plan, so we can identify where those are, so we can get a better handle and kind of know what the end of the tunnel is on that. But I think we've done amazing progress in getting these out, because it's a bad situation. It's our system. As long as we're willing to help every common line out, we improve our sewer system and our business we run.
You bet.
Question.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Mayor. So Travis and Paul, so our account for common lines after this goes back to 0? We just keep building?
No, we have, what we do is we balance out, we have money for capital projects, and it's just what's queued up. And so we have regular normal sewer projects, and then we have these common lines, and if it turns out that there's a common line that is just a high priority, we'll pull the money from there. If we don't have any that are ready to go, because there's usually a little bit of engineering, a little research, getting paperwork ready, and we'll have other projects, we'll pull that money from there. So they kind of just blend into the flow of projects, and as they come up, we bring them forward, we get them knocked out.
Okay. Good, thank you. And thank you for your hard work, Travis. Appreciate it.
And there is an application process, so if you know of anyone that's running into a common line, have them fill out that application, send them our way, we'll give it to them. But we do have to kind of rank them, because some are higher priorities than others, and since our limited funding, we have to be cognitive of where we start off.
Right.
Travis, this is for the general public. How can somebody even know that they have a common line situation? What are the symptoms? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so when your sewer backs up and you got a mess in the house, a plumber's gonna come out, and they're gonna basically camera what's going on, and generally that's when they find out there's a common line. And so they'll take care of the problem right then and there, but it's not guaranteed it's gonna stay, free from debris, I guess you would say. So, if we can get our plumbers to understand that there's an application out there too, have people apply so we're at least aware of what's out there. There's no guarantee that it'll get done right away, but, you know, if there's funding available at that moment, we will take care of it.
So technically, the plumber would be the one that would identify the common line?
Typically, yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, just, you know, Common Line 101, normally every house should have their own single line from the house sewer system to tap into our sewer line. But back in the day, to save money, when the city wasn't, you know, as active and watching out for these things, people would save money by putting houses in sequence. So 3 houses coming down the hill, and they go first, second, third, and then the sewer. And if something happens on the bottom and it gets backed up, you know, the person on the bottom's got, you know, person on top is flushing away, and the person on the bottom has got issues in there.
So you wanna live up top?
Yeah.
If you know you have
Better
it.
to be, and I don't know if there were agreements back in the day with, it's like, hey, if we have a problem, we'll all get together and we'll pitch in for this. But, you know, these people buy and sell, and you're right, 75 years later, it's like, well, I tried this once. It's like, well, you saved money when this house was built by not connecting a single line. It's like, I didn't save money. I'm 40. This house is 75 years old. And so it was a difficult thing because we have the gift clause that you cannot use public funds to benefit individuals. But if we circled around the people within our systems as a class of people, and we said we will benefit every one of them just in order to bring our system up to spec and make sure we don't have these problems and we deliver good services. And it's been working.
I have one more after you.
Yeah, and I think, you're true on the situations, because I had the same in the 70s when I had a piece of land at the top of a hill here in Globe, and I wanted a sewer line. I had to run pretty long, like 1,500 feet. But in order to get permission to run through there, I told them, you can hook up to it.
Oh, now we know the source.
I'll tell you where there's another one there.
We don't need a plumber for that one.
We'll go right to you for that.
Let's get the county records and see what we got.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
But we also
And a
fund,
sewer tap.
we also fund this account by, taking some monies out somewhere, don't we?
We have not, I'm trying to remember, I don't believe we dedicated specific money.
We did.
But we did okay, specific money for that, but it kind of ebbs and flows. And like the WIFA money, that is money that we'll be spending out of our enterprise, but it will be reimbursed, and then it'll go and tap off this loan. And I think the loan, we need to get this money spent by December.
December
Well,
31st.
actually, I think you were saying July and you got an extension.
Correct.
Right, so this is capacity, and this project fit pretty close to what we need to do. You know, usually the projects are 400 to, you know, $1 million, but we had this little bit of money and we had a good project, and so we made the two.
I got
Mike,
one
you had a
more
question?
And I brought this up several times, that if he can just explain, mainly you, Travis, the common line up on G Hill, that's a huge problem, correct? And that's gonna take a lot, just so I can answer, so constituents come to me and say, hey, how's this one going? You guys are working on several common lines, but where are we at in line up there?
And Mr. Mayor, members of council, this might be a standalone conversation, because we're kind of drifting off.
Are we?
You're getting into a specific area, one house, where we didn't agendize that we were gonna have other common line discussions, and we're naming locations, sites, and things like that. I think maybe we can put an update on our common line for the or let's talk about this when we get to future agenda items.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Travis.
I have one more question. You're talking, this is a central outlying area. Are these sewer lines, are they all in the city? Because that's when the county's up in that area too.
Yeah, that is city limits.
It all is city limits and the sewer lines, okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, to that point, in our rubric we put together, the highest level is it's currently not functioning now, and then we go into different ranges where it's acting up to the point where I know I have a common line, it's acting fine, but I want to get there. But we do prioritize city common lines over the county, ones that are inside the county, just because they're further out and, you know, it's one of the benefits of being within the city limits. You get priority common line replacement. Put it on the brochure.
Mr. Mayor, no other questions or comments. I motion to approve item 6B is read.
Second.
Motion second for approval. Item 6B is read. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Item C is consideration to approve the acceptance of the Haven Building and to direct staff to take all necessary action to complete the transfer of the property to the City of Globe in accordance with the terms of the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU 240056, with the Southern Gila County Economic Development Corporation dated December 12th, 2023. Connie.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. We've been down this path of the MOU, like to dovetail off of a really great week at National League of Cities, where, you know, some exciting stuff is going on with old buildings, and this is one of those exciting times, is to take possession so that the building would actually be in the City of Globe's name, so that we could seek funding in order to mitigate it, and then turn it into the support the initiatives for senior life initiatives and possibly some senior housing. So I'd ask for you to take action on this and accept the building. Any questions?
Connie, it has to be our building in order, is there funding out there, grants out there in order to do mitigation?
No. So Brownsville is very specific with their funding for older buildings. And it has to be we went down the path where we tried to get EPA Region 9 to give us the authority, because we had an MOU with Southern Gila County Economic Development Corporation, that we were acting in their stead in order to, for the grant funding last year in November, and they would not give the approval for that. And so then we've had to go down this path and wait the allotted time period from the donation of the property, and then now we're in this path moving forward. We had to have another phase 1 done. The Brownsville Coalition Grant did pay for that phase 1 for us to assume this building. So we have not spent money on a phase 1, and the phase 2 that was done on it while it was in Southern Gila County Economic Development Corporation's hands, that was a huge amount of money, and the test results are in a stack this big. It's a 3-story building and a basement. It has a lot of lead and asbestos to be mitigated, as well as some other items. And so it's going to cost a lot of money to mitigate. We are going to need this grant funding. And as of right now, when the notice of funding does come out, there is not a match requirement for this funding. So the path forward looks very good, that we could achieve the grant funding needed in order to mitigate and get this to a condition where then developers could take over the building and develop it for the initiative stated.
Mike?
So I think you just answered my question, Connie. So we're gonna get funding for the mitigation, and then we're gonna look for investors to finish the project, kind of like Hill Street. And then
Yes.
they're gonna run it, right? The city's not gonna run this.
And I think there's some details that have to be worked out for the ultimate goal of the developer and having who's gonna run it, et cetera, but, you know, just to keep the eye on the ball for the now, is that we have to have this building in the City of Globe's name in order to seek the funding from EPA Region 9, which is called a cleanup grant. And the notice of funding will be coming out any week now. And we are on the path, and this is a very high caliber, complicated grant. So we're on the path to achieve this, but this is one of those steps that has to be done.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Vice Mayor, we are not gonna go into the business of developing properties or doing property management.
Right.
So I can guarantee you that whatever partnership we work out, we will not be in, we will work with somebody who can do that. The details, as Connie says, we're not sure how that will lay out, but that is what we're looking for.
Fernando? You had a
Thank you, Connie.
If I remember correctly, this comes with some deed restrictions, right?
The deed restrictions is that we have to support senior housing and senior quality of life initiatives.
Does the whole project have to do that, or it can be a mixed use, do we know?
No, the whole project has to.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Councilman Shipley, to Connie, I think senior use, I don't know if housing is a requirement, but senior activities.
So it's stated here in the MOU in whereas ED in support of senior housing does say other senior quality of life initiatives and willing to accept the title. So it could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be housing, it could be a combo, like if you wanted to use the first floor for physical therapy or anything that would be a quality of life, like a workout center, or there's a number of items that can be in this. We just have to have a clean building in order to seek all that out.
I had one more question, and maybe I'm wrong. I thought when it came to the EDC that this MOU is for 2 years. Is that correct?
It's so, when you look through this, it states that within the 18 months of this MOU, that we need to transfer the title.
Okay.
So we're within that range. And the one thing about the phase one is that phase one is only good for 8 months. So we need to act during this time period. So we have until October with this phase one. So we need to act now, please.
Fernando, go ahead.
I'm a real estate geek. I love real estate and I look at it all the time. So I don't like deed restrictions, but I get it. But can there be a clause in the deed restriction that if they go away and they sell their interest, that deed restriction goes away for us?
So it was donated. So in order to answer your question properly, I'd have to look into that, because this was donated from the other entity to the Southern Gila County Economic Development Corporation, and then we, the City of Globe, had a memorandum with the Southern Gila County Economic Development Corporation to help out with the property, to keep the property up during this time
So you're
period.
saying it might be too late?
I don't even know if it's too late. I just can't answer you if it can be done, because the other corporation, the LLC from California that donated the property, they donated it in the faith of for senior living or senior initiatives to Southern Gila County. And then I do know that Southern Gila County Economic Corporation voted to transfer the title to us. And so I'm just not really sure how I can answer that at the moment.
I completely understand that, but
Yeah.
when they decide to go out of business and they sell it to ABC doing donuts, we're still gonna have a deed restriction. So that's kind of-
completely possible, but I'd like to look into it in order to totally answer that question. But at the moment, I think it was both the donor and the recipient of the donation. I believe it was their good faith that they felt like senior housing and senior initiatives were what was needed for this community, and it still may be.
Any other questions?
I make a motion to approve item 6C as read.
Second.
Motion second for approval of item 6C is read. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passed. Thank you, Connie.
Thanks, Connie.
We do have one late agenda item. Item 7A is council will discuss and possibly approve amendment number 1 to contract number PS 2024-0069 with Sustainability Engineering Group LLC for zoning administrator services for the previously budget amount not to exceed $75,000, an additional budget amount not to exceed $60,000 for the general planning services funded through account number 106651262, community development, and request to waive section 2-4-10A prior discussion of Paul.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, I think we're gonna bring Dana up also, so if you have any questions after I do the explanation. And like I say, we've been using Dana for a very long time, and we know how valuable it's been. At some point, Dana was a self-employed contractor and took a position with a company, an engineering firm. He was able to keep us as a customer and keep us at the rate at that time. I think he started at 65, and Dana, if I get these numbers wrong, let me know. And then went to $75 an hour, and that was a good rate, and Dana was operating out of his house and had no overhead, and so we benefited from that. We kept that rate ever since he's gone to his new company, which is Sustainability Engineering Group. But at some point, and we knew this point would come, we would have to go to their going negotiated rate. And so that is what we're asking tonight, is to adjust that rate. And so we had a one-year contract with 2 one-year agreements. What we're doing is we're amending that contract with a first amendment to that, which does a series of things. Most importantly, though, I would tell you that while we're taking the amount of money, or I'm sorry, we're upping his hourly cost, we have not upped the $75,000 that we budget annually for him. And we are internally, and with Dana's help and the better that we've gotten, the more sophistication with Tony and his department, we're taking on more of the things that Dana used to do, and we're doing them in-house. So while we're paying him more an hour, we don't expect to use him. We use him less hours, which means the price of the contract will not go up. And so in essence, we're working towards reducing his workload, even though the pay is going up. And so that's something that we've worked on. At $75,000 at the rate of $125, it's about 12 hours a week is what we're doing. Now, also at the same time, and this is what makes this complicated, we need to do the general plan update. That is a one-time project. We started at about $100,000 was the cost to do that, and this is required by law. It's a gigantic deal. We had an award-winning general plan 9 years ago when we did this, and we are doing a second contract with money budgeted out of a different line item to use Dana's services in facilitating and project managing the general plan update. So we wrapped both of those changes into the amendment that we have, and we would like to approve this so we can get this going, but we do need to have make sure that the form and the contents and approval to the city manager or with the city attorney. But if you have the contract page, like I say, we are reauthorizing the $75,000 that we budgeted for in this new contract. The rate is going up from 75 to 125 for in-house consulting that he does on our behalf. We do have a existing rate of 165, which is the rate that we charge other people, like Marigold. When Dana's doing work for them, we bill them out at the Dana 165 rate. Okay, that rate is not changing, but I want to make sure we notice that. So the 75 to 125 is internal work he does for us. And then we're adding to his scope the general plan of improvements, update that we have to do on there. We're letting you know that the general plan would be billed at the same new rate of 125, and then we're authorizing an additional 60,000 from the general plan line item on that. And then because of the structure of the amendment, we're re-upping this for 1 year contract with an additional 1 year if needed. So so I will tell you that it seems not shocking, but we had a good deal, and that will not go on forever. And so now we need to pay what the market rate is, and still it's a good idea. It's just it's hard to go from 75 to 125 all in one fell swoop. But Dana, have you been listening in? Is he there?
I have, thank you very much.
Did I miss anything before we go to council questions?
No, I think you were accurate with all your timing and everything, and the mayor, council, appreciate obviously working with your administrative team and leadership, and I think we've accomplished a lot over the last 4 years and look forward to continuing. But as Paul mentioned, yeah, I had to, for personal reasons, had to take on a full-time position with a firm for a number of reasons, and we do have other contracts with other communities. I am the planning director for our firm, and you get me. We do have another senior planner and a couple other planners as well. So certain work they have done in the past, smaller work might go through me. So that said, rewriting the general plan obviously is an undertaking, and you closely work with all your department staff on their areas of expertise and topics. But yes,
and Dana, I did want to add that, and council, we've always talked about this, that we're getting to the point where we need our own in-house zoning administrator / planner. We actually have just recently posted the position on for the job. I know there's what's that conference, Dana, coming up with all the planners get together?
There's a planning association.
Yeah, that's coming up in another week, and actually we were kind of floating this that we're looking for somebody. It's going to be a transition at some point, but we need it. We're to the point where we need our own person. But until that happens, we can't let growth stop. We can't stop serving our customers and the development that's coming. And so staff is requesting to keep Dana's contract in place. And again, it's the hourly rate is higher, total cost same.
Questions, comments? I do have a comment. There's no doubt that Dana's been a key part of our team to, even though he's a consultant, a contractor, a key part of our team to really move our city forward in the last 4 years. It has taken, we didn't have that in the past, and he has been part of that to move forward, to get us more into compliance with everything that we're doing, especially our zoning and everything else. So I do commend him for that. I think he is knowledgeable, and he is vital to our city at this point. The question I have is when Dana does work for HPAC, does that cost again get turned to the applicant, or how does that work?
And Dana, let me try to answer that, and then if I get it wrong, let me turn it to you. Dana part of zoning administrators serve HPAC as staff, and he produces the staff reports and puts the agenda items and presents that. That's all on the city as a city consultant. Now, in past, the HPAC has wanted to visualize to see exactly what it looks like. You saw the presentation that we had, and some colors and renderings and things like that. Dana has in the past done those for those applicants, but we have to be careful because when they bring a package together, many times they'll bring their own artwork. They'll have somebody put that together, but Dana and we have allowed him, to help smooth things along, to do that on behalf of the applicant. That is something that we have to get more restrictive on. And so we let the applicant know, if you want to just come here with some paint samples and talk about it, and if HPAC is okay with that, we're good with that. If HPAC wants to see more information, they want to see a site plan, they want to see how is that going to lay out on the building, and then the applicant can go and put that together themselves. They can find somebody that is creative, help them. They can go to people to do that, or they can ask this Dana to help mock up something for that. But that will get billed at the 165 rate. But we do have a gift clause requirement. We do need to be careful that when we're supporting HPAC, but when we're supporting an individual who is asking for services, we need to charge for those, because we can't be all things to all people. Dana, did I describe that well?
Obviously, the rendering that Dana did for this one today is, it's pretty very self-explanatory. So I don't know if that's probably, 165 is pretty steep when I look at that, but isn't it a shared responsibility for the city to absorb some of those costs too? But that's a service we offer.
Let's let Dana follow up on that.
And Mayor, great point. Over time, I think with my preparing some of those original photo simulations and stuff, Tanner or people that usually use them, it's usually a sign company or signage and things like that, are developing their own. So that was something from the applicant. So I definitely have seen that transition from, hey, I don't have anything, I'll just tell you what I want, and then creating photo simulations for HVAC and yourself to consider has evolved to where they're bringing in that level, very rare, or that I have to get involved like I did when we started, when I started with you. Now, regarding the fees, I would typically look at the cost, your permit fee, which did just go up recently, fortunately, and just be within that range. So there's no additional, put a half hour into it. I tend to put more time into things that I build as well, so that's how that's been going. Because obviously, we need to keep this effective, cost effective for your.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of council, we will work with Dana to make sure that he's staying with the scope of his assignment as zoning administrator. But in the future, you may see HPAC, whether it's city council, when we rejuvenate create the new HPAC, if they're not willing to pass it and they want more information, then they may have to go out, that applicant may have to go out and find somebody to do that, or ask Dana to help, but that would be a charge. But again, the initial presentation, and we have a limit to what we can do. I don't see this as being a large cost or a large project. We just have to make sure that Dana is very creative and very giving with his skills. We gotta make sure that it's appropriate and within, what's acceptable in the way of how much can we go for the applicant.
Thank you.
No other questions or comments, Mayor. I motion to approve item 7A as read.
Second.
Motion second for approval. Item 7A is read. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passed.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
What's that?
He said thank you.
Second call to the public. Do we have any online or on?
Did we do? Yeah, we did. We do have second call to public. Okay. And this is from Tony DeAnda at 1020 Sanders Drive. This is in reference to the late agenda item. I believe council should postpone a decision on this contract and first conduct a review of salary details from other rural municipalities. A $50 raise is absurd, given this is an increase that doesn't accurately reflect either a performance incentive or a cost of living adjustment. It appears to be arbitrary figure. The action sends a message that although throughout and through process, it isn't being followed for a critical position. This is a matter of fiscal responsibility and equitable treatment. I urge the council to postpone the vote on the contract and instead prioritize a plan to raise the salaries of our most underpaid employees. Let's show our appreciation for all our staff from the ground up. And is there another one? Which is that? Okay. Is that the same?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is another one. It says, I just read the proposal to give the zoning administrator a $50 an hour raise. And I have to clarify, as a contractual, he's not a salaried employee. The City of Globe firefighters aren't even paid a comparable wage across the nation. The police receive a well-deserved raise, but our firefighters are still on the bottom. I realize that city believes Dana's skills are well-deserved, but this training that the firefighter is continuous and involves actual working with saving human lives. This is incredulous to me that you would award someone who shows up to meetings through Zoom. I believe the taxpayers should know how their dollars are being spent. And this is from Amanda Haas, 110 Sanders Drive. And then it goes on. What are the specific requirements for bidding with projects? Since these are government-funded projects, where are the pre-bid meetings and bid packaging for the Common Line projects? So, and that's the last one. Do we have any? And nothing in the email. So that's our call to the public. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Scheduling of meetings?
We have no changes in scheduling meetings.
Consideration of future agenda items?
And we wanted to talk about, so would council like, well, there are two things. There's the original, can you pull up the original text? There's a question about sidewalks and downtown improvements. And I don't know if we wanted to have anything on there. We kind of I think we just did have a discussion about sidewalk maybe 4 weeks ago. So I would urge the person, I don't have a name on this one, that we did have a presentation just recently on sidewalks. I don't know if council would like to have any additional presentations on that.
I think we just had that. like
Yeah,
you said, so.
I think we did.
Well, they included roads in there. Is there an update on roads we didn't have?
I don't believe that there's really much new going on roads.
Okay.
So, and then Vice Mayor was talking about the G Hill Common Line. And so would council like to hear something on that Common Line program?
Sure, I would.
Yeah, okay. And just kind of, we had a little bit of a budget review, but we can go maybe a little bit deeper in some of the wins and some of the things we know about, and then maybe talk more about that master sewer study that we had. Okay, so we'll add that to the future agenda items and squeeze it in as long as it doesn't kick the meeting too late.
And I think it updates, some of the questions I get, and they're from different, and I turn them over to the different districts, but they ask about roads within their district. And how do you prioritize them? I think it's all spread out between each council member in their district. Can we just give an update?
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions about roads, different types of roads.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, so future agenda, how we'll just do a general road update and potential future changes. And we might throw in something about the ADOT.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then also a presentation on, more general presentation on Common Line process.
And I don't know how council feels about this one, but I just, maybe a discussion about possibly changing the time of our council meetings to earlier. You know, our staff, I know, it's a long day for our staff, you know, to be here. And you know, we don't get a lot of people in the audience. They're able to zoom in. So I don't know if it's possible that we change it even as early as 5:30. I don't know.
I'm good.
Okay. And council start time.
No?
Well, some of us were.
Sorry, Fernando.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Fernando.
Okay, well, so we have 3 items for that.
That'll be a good discussion.
Yeah.
Then, Mr. Mayor, members of council, that's all we have for you.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Be adjourned. Thank you very much.